Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Worlds is just about to start in a couple hours. I'm really hyped up, really excited. Can't wait. We're starting out with an absolute banger between C9 and Fnatic today. That's going to be so much fun, so much trash talk, whoever wins or loses. And it's going to be a pretty big game in terms of like the standings. Whoever wins that is obviously going to be in a much better position right off the bat. But before we get into all those games today, we still got League of Legends esports news to talk about and stories to cover and speculation, rumors, all this kind of stuff. Today I wanted to check in with Reckless once again to see what's been going on with him, because there was a pretty big story involving him yesterday, I think it was, and it was this, the fact that Reckless LOL on Twitter, he tweeted out, "Come watch the remaining games of Worlds with me. We will be live 30 minutes before scheduled time. See the Twitch calendar." Also, that's kind of cool. Being able to watch some games with Reckless, all that stuff, great. Hear you streaming or involved with the broadcast or whatever in some capacity. I don't really know what's going on. I haven't really heard that much. Don't really care that much personally. I think it's cool, but it's like I'm not going to be watching it with Reckless or whatever. I'm probably just going to be watching the main streams. But interesting, cool, whatever, awesome. The big part at the end is what gets a little bit spicier, and then the pictures. Also took some pictures with Riot and Fnatic merch I've kept after participating in 2014, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Obviously, the years that we're missing out on there sucks. It sucks that we didn't get to see him last year. It sucks that we didn't get to see him this year. Even competing for a chance to go to Worlds last year, just a single game away from Worlds. One for each stream, and then he says enjoy, and then here are the pictures he drops where you can see we got some Fnatic gear here. He's got some of his jerseys, he's got some of his jackets, he's got some Fnatic shoes down here, at least some orange and black shoes. I hope they're Fnatic, that'd be pretty dope. And then the picture of him there, his new tattoos, all that stuff going on. And yeah, there it is. You can see better some of the Fnatic stuff going on. But couple interesting things to come out of this was one, obviously the most kind of thing that's going to come to most of our heads right off the bat is people being like, oh hey, does Reckless want to come back to Fnatic? Is Reckless going to try and come back to Fnatic? Would Fnatic have any interest in that? Is there going to be any potential openings in the bottom lane? And is there some way that they can make this thing happen? Because obviously, Reckless and Fnatic, even though they've had a couple breakups, they've had a couple split ups, whatever, there's always that one couple that just no matter what happens, they always end up back together, even though it's not necessarily always the right idea or the best thing for each of them. But I don't know. Reckless and Fnatic is still something that goes way back, and something that people see synonymous with in a lot of ways. It'd be, for some people, like Perks returning to G2 or something like that. Like, that wouldn't be totally insane to most people, especially now that Carlos is gone, but that's a whole different story. The point is, Reckless and Fnatic have a strong history. They've split up before. They've come back before. They've split up again. Are they going to return again? Is this Reckless, maybe dropping us some hints? Is this him saying how much he's loved Fnatic and misses Fnatic and how he'd love to come back, especially right now when, yes, he's with K-Corp, but the rumors going around are that K-Corp is not interested in bringing up Reckless with them next year if they do make it to the LEC, and if they end up stuck in the LFL, Reckless wouldn't have any interest in sticking around with them in the LFL. So it seems like K-Corp and Reckless are going to be parting ways. So Reckless is going to find a new home. Obviously, what you're going to say is Upset is still under contract with Fnatic for next year, and I get that. Yeah, he is, and Upset is an insane player. I really think Upset is one of the best players, I think, in the world. Like, at his best, he's one of the best players in the world. I think he had an insane play-in stage, but he has been on a team with Fnatic that, obviously all the craziness that happened last year where he didn't get to play at Worlds, and then this year, been on kind of an inconsistent up and down Fnatic team where they had to go through play-ins and stuff. Like, I'm sure at some point Upset could at least possibly want to be on a better team or a team that's doing bigger and better things. I'm sure he wants to be, not playing at the play-ins, competing for world titles, competing for LEC titles, all that stuff. And that's just not where Fnatic is at right now. It doesn't mean they can't get there next year, especially with Upset. But there is some kind of world where Upset could potentially leave. Obviously, Upset and Fnatic have been through their fair share of drama and craziness and stuff as well. So point being, just at the end of the day, just because he is still under contract, that does not always mean anything. We see contracts not mean anything all the time in esports. It could be Fnatic maybe wanting to move on from Upset back to Reckless, or it could just be Upset wanting to leave and then Reckless coming back in. It also could be this means nothing at all, but this is just a talking point for us to talk about what potentially Reckless is going to be going through in this offseason. when you take a look at the LEC standings, take a look at some of the different options and stuff. Obviously, Unforgiven, he did not really have the best Worlds. I'm sure there's some people that would love to see Reckless come into Mad Lions and think that that could be very, very exciting, especially when you pair him up with, an exciting player like El Yoya, who's going to be able to take up a lot of resources and do a lot of carrying and early game playmaking, then have Reckless there for the late game. I don't think that's going to happen, though. It seems like Mad Lions really wants to build around young players. I think that is their identity. Now that Carlos is gone at G2, you could argue maybe Reckless returning there could be a possibility, but it's really not, especially with Caps and Yanko still there. Rogue, they have Comp, he's been a beast. Misfits, they're going to be Heretics. They have Jack Spectra, who I expect to be the starting LEC 80 carry. Excel has Patrick. Maybe if he leaves, maybe Reckless could be in Excel, but I don't really see that happening. Fnatic, maybe a potential option. And then Vitality being the other very, very big and spicy one, where we have covered Perks talking about recently the fact that, hey, the stuff between him and Reckless in the past, it's just been social media. They are friends. They get along. He could potentially see them playing together. And then that also, you dive in the whole thing a little bit further. It could potentially happen with Perks and Reckless both ending up on Fnatic in the future as well. I don't think that's entirely impossible. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Another whole part of the story. At the end of the day, I don't know. Part of me wants to say, oh, hey, maybe Reckless is, making it cry out to Fnatic. Like, hey, guys, remember the good old days? Remember when I used to wear this? Ooh, look at how good this looks on me. That type of stuff. But it is also, just that's the team he went to Worlds with after all these years. And I'm sure he's making some Worlds content and stuff. But it is kind of funny. It is definitely coming at an interesting time while Reckless is on the market. But also, I think from this whole thing, some K-Corp fans were getting mad that Reckless is obviously on their team under contract with them still. And they feel like they did a lot for Reckless this past year, giving him a home and a place to play and an EU Masters title and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was great what they did for him. And it was great that they bought him out and gave him all this money and paid him a nice salary and all that stuff. But Reckless did a lot for K-Corp as well. And I think there are some mad K-Corp fans that are kind of lacking to realize that, how much Reckless helped them grow this past year, especially with their English-speaking audience. And I'm sure in terms of, brand deals and sponsorships and some stuff like that, I think it was definitely a mutually beneficial relationship to act like K-Corp just saved Reckless or anything like that. But yeah, then they're also mad that I haven't seen a ton of this, but I heard some people saying that some K-Corp fans were mad about, Reckless posing with Fnatic gear, talking about Fnatic and stuff like this. And I don't know. It seems like a lot of the K-Corp fans are slowly getting on board, like the Han Sama train, or being more and more willing and I guess, I don't know, more positive about the idea of a potential like Han Sama or somebody else coming in for next year. Because, yeah, it does seem like Reckless will be gone, but we don't exactly know where Reckless is going yet in the future. But, hey, I don't know. Maybe Reki was dropping us some hints today. Maybe he could be interested in a potential return home to Fnatic. Obviously, there's a ton of variables, and obviously Fnatic still needs to play at Worlds now. But Fnatic's in a very, very hard group. They absolutely could kind of shit the bed in their group, and it could lead to some kind of turmoil or blown up or whatever. Who knows? I'm not saying Reckless is going to Fnatic or anything like that, but I'm not saying he's not either. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.